The following content contains adult language and humor that is not suitable for viewers under the age of 18. Viewer discretion is strongly advised. The views and opinions expressed during the following video content are those of the individual and may not reflect those of others. Thank you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening.
Welcome to Pop Talk. We're going to be having our Forbidden stream. As you can see down below here, with our little banner, we just received word that a giant, literally a giant in our circle, you might say, the one who's been fighting the good fight, making sure that what we love, especially comic books and such, very knowledgeable in comic books, a friend to many,
His love of Star Trek.
His love of Star Trek. Clobby, or Clobbering Times, has sadly passed away from complications of a heart attack, and it's affecting us all, especially as you can tell, Mike, because he's had dealings with Clobby and got to know him. I've had dealings, but I was like saying beforehand, I was kind of more like the distant cousin, where I'm surrounded by all the others who knew him, and I've had some exchanges sound hard, but interactions with him, talking with him. I'm sure I've been on a stream or two with him, and of course in the chat. And obviously, out there, this is hitting hard for many people. Doomcock, R.M. Briggs, or Rico Briggs, 24/7 Fusion Media, Mexican Iron Man,
Stone Loki.
Mm-hmm.
So many of us who have been around his channel, been around him in one capacity or another. We lost a good friend.
And when I say he is a giant and one of the good guys, he was. And we need more like him out there. And more importantly, we still need him. But for whatever reason, this was his time. And, as much as we're sad, as much as it hurts us, as much as it digs into our heart, we have to remember all the good things that he did for us, for YouTubers, YouTube, and fighting the good battle that we have. And it just it's heartbreaking. It's when we're especially
It
coming
is.
into what is going to be a, a fun time with with our movie night tonight. But obviously, we're going to be going in because Clobby probably loved the hell out of this movie,
Yes,
and
Baron and Cash both asked me as soon as we heard the news, "Do you want to call the show?" I said, "No, we are not calling the show. Why? Because we are doing this for Klobby.
mhm,
He he would have loved it if we continue on. That's what he wants us to do. Continue on talking about movies like this, movies that inspired one of his loves, which is Star Trek.
mhm, right,
And as I've told Cash and Baron, this is hitting me hard because 20 years ago, I lost my father to a fatal heart attack. So I know what it's like. And it's not easy. But for those of us here in the YouTube community, Rumble community, Twitch, Kick, wherever you stream, we lost somebody who was passionate and very, very knowledgeable. I want to send my condolences first to his children, Ashley and Jonathan. Our hearts go out to you. I know, Baron, you just mentioned their names, but I want to mention Raquel Briggs. My heart goes out to you. Mark C. with a D, who was his co host on many live streams. My heart goes out to you. Doomcock, my friend, my heart goes out to you. Stone Loki, Mexican Iron Man. I could continue naming names, but to all of you, my heart goes out to you. And I am going to ask you all to do a favor because right now, his family needs all the help that they can get. His daughter had set up a GoFundMe page on Monday after Klobby had his heart attack on Sunday. And they are asking for 15,000. And a lot of that, and I know this from my own experience after my father had his fatal heart attack and after my mother passed away, that a lot of that money will more than likely go to medical cost. But please, if you can, please donate to this GoFundMe. His children need you now more than ever. Or, as Raquel said the other night, you can do it Klobby's way and go to his channel and donate a super chat. I will bring up his channel here in just a moment and post the link. If anybody would be so inclined to donate, so just give me a moment to pull up.
uh, obviously, he had a fitting name too. Being Clobby. Uh, being using that icon from the Fantastic Four and going out that way because he was tough, he was rough, but deep down also very soft. And when I mean soft is loving. And he, you know, it's everything you want to have out there. A giving YouTuber, someone who knows it wasn't all about him. It's all about us all together. in one fashion or another. So, um, yes, please help his family out as best as possible. You don't have to give a ton of money uh, if you have 2, 3, 5, 10. Every little bit helps his family, who right now is devastated, having this giant
Yes.
only there as a memory now.
But, his family probably made wonderful memories with him. Wonderful memories.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I can say this because I was watching the show this morning. I know Stone Loki was headed there to see him. But again, to everybody who was a close personal friend of Mike Alonso, aka Klobby, we are here for you. If you need a shoulder to cry on, you need someone to talk to, we are here for you. I sincerely mean that. If anybody wants to come on and talk about Klobby with us during tonight's show, I will go ahead and put the invite link into the chat. And we can enjoy this great movie, but we can also talk about Klobby. Because, you go to his channel and you will see many videos and many passionate takes on what he loves. Watching him and Raquel during their Saturday night Star Treks, the original 735. It's not going to be the same. But you know what we do? We carry on that mantle. We all carry on that mantle. Whether you're talking about Star Trek or anything else, you carry on the mantle for Klobby. You do it for Klobby. I again had the honor of being able to stream with him over on the Nerdporial Lifeforms channel a couple of years ago when we were doing the Orville After Show.
Mm.
And, it was an honor. It was a privilege. It was a pleasure listening to his, thoughts on the episode that we reviewed. And I will say this. The man, he will fight for you. He will fight for what he loves. And that's what he did. He fought for what he loved. But, we press on, but we press on in his memory. We press on by talking about great movies like Forbidden Planet and how it inspired so many ideas for Star Trek. As you're watching this movie tonight, you will see where Star Trek got a lot of its influences. Again, I want to once again pass on my condolences to his family and his friends, and to Klobby. May you rest in peace, good sir. May the great bird of the galaxy guide you on your next journey.
And just know that even though now you're sleeping in a light beyond the rim, we keep the fight up
We do.
for you and for everyone.
We do. So again, everybody, I will go ahead and post it on the Rumble site as well. If you knew Clobby and you would like to join us and talk with us about Clobby during this watch party, you're more than welcome to do so.
Yes. And we ask everyone, please be respectful in the chat or wherever for today. Yeah, we can still have laughs, even thinking, talking about him and such, because it shouldn't be all tears.
No.
He was beyond. He's beyond that. You remember the laughs, the good times, and shed the tears. But all in all, remember him. Let us respect him, and enjoy this movie for him. I think he'd be smiling knowing that.
Yes, and I do see that we have some message is from Tim. To grunt and sweat under a weary life, but the dread of something after death, the undiscovered country from whose born no traveler returns.
Shakespeare.
Puzzles the will and makes us rather bear those ills we have, than fly to others that we know not of. Yes. Thank you for that, Tim.
To be or not to be?
Yes, that is the question. Ha, ba, ha, bah. So, ladies and gentlemen, the link to the movie is pinned to the top on StreamYards. I just need to stream the link. Not stream the link. Get the link for the Rumble side and pin it to the top for anybody who would like to join us in the watch party.
No, I agree. Stick it to YouTube. No, but
I love that picture of him sitting in that captain's chair.
So do I. I mean, you look at that picture. Look how happy he is in Captain Kirk's chair on the bridge of Captain Kirk's ship. NCC 1701. No bloody A, B, C, or D. And I also want to take the time to say hello to Kathy Skywalker. Good to see you there, Kathy. Looking forward to your guest appearance on July 3rd. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys have anything else you'd like to say about Clobby before we begin, please.
You kind of hit it all for me. So.
All right.
And I already said part of it too already, so don't want to repeat myself.
All right.
Yes. Cash?
So, lady.
I'm just listening.
All right.
Oh, I just didn't know if you had anything to say yourself, man.
No, I don't. I mean, I feel bad for you guys. I do. I just unfortunately didn't know Clobby. So. Not like you guys. I'd heard the name before. So.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Or Cloppy. Walter Pidgeon was great, and Francis.
Mm-hmm. And of course, a lot of
Yep.
people know Leslie Nielsen from,
Mhm.
the Naked Gun movies. And this is the first movie to introduce Robby the robot.
Mm-hmm. Became iconic in that.
Yep. Pop culture
And-
icon.
And it's going to be kind of funny because there's going to be some background characters in here you'd never suspect and uncredited. James Best being one of them,
Yeah.
who would later go on to be Roscoe P. Coltrane. Oh. Boy, it'd be nice to see what other missions they had. Oh.
Mm-hmm. And for this, it was Star Trek before Star Trek.
I'm guessing they remastered this.
I think it has been, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and you'll also see another familiar face, but younger, and that's Richard Anderson, who right there. That's him.
Yep.
Oscar Goodman from the $6 Million Man.
DC set and punched on, skipper. All right, attention. Captain to crew. All hands square away to decelerate. Ship's beeper will, as usual, sound 10 times after lights dim. Come on, Doc. DC, bosun. Aye, aye, sir. DC station.
So crazy to see Leslie Nielsen in like a more serious role.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he was, a serious and heavy actor until Airplane came.
And here's one of the first inspirations for Star Trek. How do you get people down to the planet without landing the ship? Teleporter. Or in Star Trek's case, the transporter.
I always wonder if I would get sick if I use one of those teleporters.
You'd probably end up having your head on your hand on your head.
Maybe, yeah.
My luck could be the pecker.
Just close your eyes and everything will be fine.
Interesting concept how they have to shield themselves like that as they transition from FTL to normal space.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of a concept they had in the Lensman series, which of course inspired a lot of this type of science fiction. The space opera, Babylon 5, Star Trek as well. So,
and the reason why I say that those tubes, as they're getting out of hyperspace, are Star Trek, is because if you look at the transporter pads in the transporter chamber, that's how they are too.
Yeah.
Even in the first pilot, very similar.
Really, in some ways, look at the sets in this film. It's not like it's all there. It's not, it's not your typical science fiction I mean, you can tell out of the 50s and all that, but they really looks like they really put effort into it to be more than just, just some levers and knobs.
What? They didn't
Yeah.
just throw things together and see what sticks, Baron? This is ridiculous. Come on, man.
Well, a lot of that science fiction with the budgets and stuff like that, they didn't have
Yeah.
anything to really do this. I mean, think of that. Not only that, it's in color, which is expensive.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Approach, skipper. Helical vector oriented. Attention. Captain and crew, attention. Our destination, Altair 4, is now visible on the main view plate. As you'll recollect from your briefing lectures, this is an Earth-type planet. 20 years ago, the spacecraft Bellerophon landed here with a prospecting party of scientists. Our mission is to search for survival. That is all.
His microphone, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
And now we have the flying saucers, folks. Look how beautiful that is, man.
It sure makes some beautiful
Yep.
world. How do these continents check with the old charts? It'll tell you better in a little while, skipper. Time for breaks. Okay, take it away. As for getting the crew, stand by to change slugs.
Of course, we're seeing how they navigate.
Mm-hmm.
I can definitely tell how this film definitely, how it inspired Star Trek.
Another one of the new worlds. Beer, no women, no pool parlors, nothing. So box of tin cans, and we gotta bring our own tin cans.
Attention, captain and crew. Now hear this. We are now entering the atmosphere of Altair 4. No survival suit will be required upon landing. Oxygen content 4.7 richer than Earth standard. Gravity only 0.897. Just your equipment point. That is all. All hands, check equipment.
I mean, look at that effort they did.
It's impressive.
Short range radio signals yet? Not so far.
And they didn't have the use of fancy CGI effects.
No.
Jerry.
All practical.
I like those uniforms too.
Mm-hmm.
Look
There are no cities,
sharp.
roads, bridges, dams. There's no sign of civilization at all. Sir, we're being radar scanned.
And look at the earpiece.
Zero on it?
Mm-hmm.
Seems to emanate from
Familiar to anybody?
Yeah, it looks like something out of Apple.
Well, not only
Or
that,
Laura.
but Ahura's
Mhm.
earpiece that she would wear.
Activate your scope.
Mm.
Radio contact, sir. Voice here. Human? Yes, sir. Sounds like it. Boosted.
You can see a little bit of a semblance to the cage,
Mm-hmm.
A ship lost and they don't think there's any survivors.
United Planets cruiser C-57D. J.J. Adams commanding. Who are you?
J.J. Adams.
Yeah, J.J. Adams, man.
Who?
Yeah.
Yeah, here it is. Morbius E, PhD, Lit D expedition philologist.
Right. What do you wish here, cruiser? Well, you don't understand, sir. We're your relief. We're very glad to find you alive. I, of course, appreciate your concern, but absolutely no assistance of any sort is required.
The red carpet treatment, huh?
Dr. Morbius, my orders are to survey the situation on Altair 4.
Let me repeat, I'm in no sort of difficulty.
Cash, check the private.
Your procedure will be
Problem, Baron.
You call me a troublemaker.
Arr.
I love that globe.
Mm-hmm. I just love the set in general.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. He is definitely Kirkish.
Mm-hmm.
I like that lounge back there.
Mm-hmm. And notice how, because they don't trust the situation, he ordered sidearms.
Yep. Look at that. Oh, so beautiful.
Beautiful matte painting.
And the shadow.
Mm-hmm.
Think of all that work.
And I love how they're making it wobble as it's trying to land. And
Mm-hmm.
everybody, remember where we parked.
Yeah. Well, more importantly, too, they made kind of a quarter of this of that ship out there too. So it's like, think of that work.
Yeah, expensive work.
Mm-hmm. It's that Star Trek red.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Quinn.
Yes. And there he is, Robby the robot.
Voiced by Marvin Miller.
I mean, even that was quite a bit of work for a movie in 1956, that costume.
Mm-hmm. Robby 3PO.
And I was going to say, also an inspiration for Star Wars.
Mm-hmm. He's non-binary, folks.
Well, he's a robot.
Exactly.
Can robot, yes.
Sometimes this looks like if Doctor Who had a budget,
Mm-hmm.
There you got the guy.
You guys trust the robot, right?
A robot on a strange planet in an unknown
Be
situation.
fine.
Yeah, you can tell they're distrustful, but now this is pod racing. Oh wow, look at that. You can see the ripples of the water.
Yeah, you can. That's how much attention to detail they put into this.
Mm-hmm.
Remind you of any other villains that we've watched in movies?
No, it's Walter Pidgeon. He's been a lot, but kind of reminds me also a little bit of the Master.
Yes.
Or how about the black hole, right?
Yep. I
Hmm?
was going to say that.
Or how about Flash Gordon?
Yep. Especially with the voice.
True.
Yeah.
Yes.
A replicator.
Mm-hmm. That's one way to get rid of your garbage.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Where do you think they got the idea for the phasers?
Mm-hmm. Blaster.
Asmos. Law Robotics.
Mm-hmm. It's just interesting watching Leslie Nielsen in this.
Mm-hmm. I mean, think about it. These three are the inspiration for Kirk, Spock, and McCoy.
Mm-hmm. And how funny. Leslie Nielsen's a Canadian. William Shatner's a Canadian.
Mm-hmm.
I love the design of this place.
Yeah.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
A bladed whole armor.
Mhm. It, mhm.
Hmm.
Mhm. But also though, that mhm.
Good evening, Anonymous.
Hey,
In
dude.
case you're wondering where we're at the 22-minute, 3-second mark.
Turn on my freaking mixer.
Mhm.
We're at the what now?
We're right now at the 22-minute, 15-second mark.
Mhm. What I
Oh,
really
the
love
exciting
about
part.
this, what I really like about this too is, it's a color movie where they tend to want to go crazy with the colors. I love how muted they are. I mean, hello, nurse. She was beautiful.
Do you all want to have sex at the same time or just one?
Oh boy.
Could you be any more creepy to her father?
Mhm. She's developed pretty good.
Exceptions of what?
Of course. Of course.
Compliments for Beaver.
And of course, Jack Kelly. He was in. He played Bart Maverick along with James Gardner.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dear.
Mm-hmm.
Oh dear.
Aww.
Over here has the North American Caucasian deer and the Mexican Spanish deer.
It's a tiger.
He's going to bounce on his tail here in a minute.
Where's the bear? A camera.
I love how it's still tethered. They didn't think of wireless.
Isn't he doing a good job being helpful? That
A very good job.
This film really holds up still. Oh, beautiful. I like their symbol for their union.
Where you at now? I had a commercial.
3048. Even Cookie has a gun.
May need to kill dinner.
Rocket Bourbon. That's one happy cookie. Mm.
It was okay, so I don't want to hear complaints.
Daddy does it better than you.
Oh, God.
Wow. Anonymous, dude. No.
Come on, man.
Bunch of hornballs.
He's trying to corrupt her. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But she likes showing her legs. Mm-hmm.
They're horny. Mm. You know, it's kind of like if Pike didn't have a stick up his rump.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh,
Mm.
I do that at least once a day.
Diamonds. Aww. What a scamp.
Mhm.
And think about how risque that was at that time, you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
True. Yeah.
That's me.
I love how the camera's panning up the stairs to the
Mhm.
ship.
Mm-hmm. Not much privacy in there. Oh.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't you be a little startled if you saw the hatch opening and there was nobody there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, think so.
Commander takes his job seriously.
Mm-hmm. I like the relaxed duty uniforms too.
Yeah. Little attitude from him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he wants to have himself some, alone time.
Yeah, I
Yes, he
wonder
does.
why.
Mm-hmm.
Who doesn't get in line?
He wants to make whoopee.
Whoopee! Oh, look at that flowers. Oh, Robby.
He should have.
Mm-hmm. Also uncredited in this movie as a crewman is William Boyett. Anyone watched Adam 12? He was the sergeant in charge that would give the orders out to
I've heard of
read.
Adam 12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Oh, you should
You
watch
should
it.
watch it, Cash.
Oh,
All right.
oh, you have to put it a monkey. You want to zap the monkey?
That's how you take care of that.
Mm-hmm. Oh my!
Oh, hello. Yeah, don't look at me or the naked chick.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever you hear, don't turn around.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Well, what sense of more modesty would she have when it's?
Even that, I imagine people watching this in the theater and seeing that.
It's like, oh,
Oh my, I got the vapors. Oh.
the man. Of course you are. She looks a little like Susan Oliver too.
Yeah, she does.
Like the other outfits better.
Everybody. Or
See, this is something they don't get right nowadays.
You're asking questions. How dare you, Baron?
Well,
Shame
the
on you.
flirtation. The flirtation too.
Oh, I
mean,
know
it's not
that as well.
Mhm.
Oh no, I
Yeah.
agree. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
but it's also the questions too. You know, they leave things open ended. Oh no.
give her the tongue. That'll solidify your position.
Hmm. I hear the dogs, Baron.
Nice kitty.
Meow,
From my
meow.
girl.
Whoa.
Away from my girl. You just killed my cat.
Mm-hmm. Why? This place is safe, though, right, guys? Come on, man.
Sure, it's safe. There's no ominous signs about.
Not at all.
Yeah, it's a cozy place. The krill.
Did you say adamantium steel?
Yes, he did.
Who ripped off who then?
Mm.
Marvel ripped them off.
And the person who did the special effects was on loan from Walt Disney.
Mm-hmm. I mean, very good special effects for the time.
Mm-hmm. And in some ways still hold up, really.
Yeah. Better than CGI.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff we have, yeah.
Yeah, well, when you get obsessed with something like that, it can be definitely a huge problem.
Ooh.
No, this is Dr. McCoy. He said, I'm a doctor, not a test subject.
Not a guinea pig.
Did you cheat? That's a good question.
Of course.
Yeah, I just noticed that message myself, Tim. But thank you for letting us know, brother.
Mhm. Mm-hmm. The shuttle car. Oh, that sounds familiar. Wow, look at that. I would be. Woof,
I would.
$7,800 levels.
And 400 more chefs, just like that one.
Mm-hmm. Some almost has a little 70s look to it. Wow. You got that 50s, 60s. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
wow. Can you imagine seeing this on Star Trek?
That would have been amazing, especially back in the 60s.
Yeah. Mm. Mm-hmm. Wow. Yeah, Quinn. Get to work. Mm-hmm. Nope. Heaven. Oh, what's this? Just imagine that set. Hmm. Uh-oh. What was that? What happened? Exactly. Oh my, look at that dress. That doesn't sound nice.
Now what you hear them say is parts are plastered all over.
Goodbye, Oscar Goldman. Mm-hmm. Synthahol?
Star Trek ripped them off.
No, Star Trek was just inspired.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Isn't that
behave
what we're
yourself,
calling it nowadays?
Anonymous. I know what you're doing. You sneaky
What?
snake, you Anonymous. Sneaky snake.
I'm a good boy.
Uh-huh.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at least they could pour one out for the homie. Had plenty of liquor.
That's true.
Mhm.
But then again, they probably had to pour him out.
What's the doctor hiding?
Premonition. Mm-hmm. He's not fooling around now.
Nope.
Let's get behind the weapons. Hmm. And to think, this isn't even an action film.
No.
It's cerebral. Oh, they got Robby.
Oh,
Hey, this movie has a lot more story than a lot of movies and shows nowadays.
Yeah. Hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now they know they're in serious, what?
Oh, yeah. Can we go home now?
I don't like this planet.
This thing doesn't want them to go home.
Mm-mm. There it is. Mm. Something straight out of a nightmare, folks.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get too close, boys. Oh, no. Yeah, because getting close will help you.
Well, maybe he thought if he got at close range, that would do
Oh.
more damage.
Oh,
He
yeah,
was
it did
blown.
to him. Mm. No. Hmm. Dr. Morbius, can your daughter come out?
Careful. She might kill him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sure.
Does she ever wear shoes?
I don't think I've seen a pair of shoes on her yet.
Oh, I mean, the man I kissed?
Well, I don't narrow it down.
Refresh it.
How can you go when you do
Time
that?
wise, just so you know, Tib, time wise, we are at the 1 hour, 23-minute, 56-second mark.
What happened to Doc?
His brain scrambled.
It was too much for him.
Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-hmm.
sir, that ultimate team would continuously project solid matters ready for the planet. Any shape or color they might imagine, or any purpose. The ancient mindset thought. Never be shut down.
At this point, the commander should have.
Revenge project and kill.
Hmm. Something's close.
Better engage those shutters.
Oh yeah. I think it's mad.
How else would you let it without us you talking? You still think she's immune? She's joined herself to me, body and soul. Whatever comes forever. It's a lie. Shout, let it hear you out there. Tell her you don't love this man. Not even if I.
Ooh.
Messing around with technology you don't exactly understand, Baron.
Yep. Exactly.
Who would do something like that?
Me.
Baron would, of course.
Fauci owns. Sorry.
Excuse me,
Oh.
YouTube.
Uh-oh.
Got a little cough there.
He got ripped open. Oh, he's... Oh, don't destroy that lovely home.
As wanton destruction of private property. Somebody call the
I
cops.
know.
Yet there are no cops to call.
What kind of planet is this?
Hey, his brain is that much smarter because he was messing with technology he didn't understand. Real smart.
It's kind of the funny thing. The antagonist is not necessarily the bad villain, just like in Star Trek.
Excuse me, I'd just like to ask a question. What does God need with a starship?
So now you're whistling up your monster again. Very powerful, but it's finally inconvenient. You don't do something about it soon, Orman. Right through that door.
Mm.
So much for
Not
adamantium.
solid enough.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Wow, what impressive effect.
Yeah, again, 1956, and they were able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Put a little ray bullet in him. The Jedi are coming through.
That scared me. Oh, by doing so,
That it is, Tim. All
That's an
right, hurry
odd
back
place
to
to
the
put a
ship.
self-destruct mechanism.
Point 6. Clear now. Got an estimate. Genuine privilege, Commander. Activate the engine plate. The right step. 15 seconds.
Oh.
The end.
Mm-hmm. And not even a huge a huge plot. It's a simple
Mm-hmm.
a plot. It's it's kind of straightforward. It's
Yeah.
and it's become and it's all about the mind. Think about it. This is
Mhm.
cerebral science fiction in the 1950s.
Yeah, well, I mean, we
Well,
can't.
just like Star Trek itself in the 1960s was very cerebral.
We should. Somebody needs to come back with things like this and have us think some more. I know, thinking how terrible, but
Yeah, but
all this action stuff, all this nonsense, all this spoon feeding, like it's never. It will never make that good of writing ever. It's been proven many times.
but there's only one explosion, Cash. How could this be a good film? There's only
Oh
one explosion at
no!
the end.
How terrible!
Oh my God!
No!
What are we gonna do?
Get your
Horrible film.
floaties.
We're
Exactly.
gonna do just fine.
Buckle up, kids. It's the storm's
But-
coming, and the
Yeah, but by today's standards,
It stinks.
why?
course,
Because
man.
people are morons.
well, no, because there's way too much thinking, and they need that action
I'm
all
talking
the
about-
time. And
That's
yeah,
what
I
mean.
know what you mean.
Yeah, I mean, honestly,
That's
I
right.
mean, what a sad state of affair
Yeah.
that things have come now, television and motion picture wise.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah,
There's only a
brilliant
few
movie.
people who are really. There's only a few directors and even ones who have been out there, writers. There's a few still that really want to make you think about things. But nowadays, no, it's just, they spoon feed you this. They try to explain things that are definitely illogical. And then you have people who keep defending it and want to call you idiots and all kinds of things. Yet they don't want to be the ones who think more. It's just funny. It's just a clown show. It really is. And it's not funny clowns. It's those dunce clowns that we've been talking about, Baron, before.
Well, they're
yeah.
trying to appeal nowadays to the lowest common denominator.
They
Right.
are, man. They are.
Mhm.
Because why
And,
should you have to think? It's with anything. I remember when I was talking to somebody a number of years ago when they were talking about Seabiscuit. Oh, that horse movie? No, Seabiscuit is more than just a horse movie. But sure,
Yeah.
whatever you want to believe.
Oh, it's a good film. Yeah, it was a good
It's a
film.
very
Yeah,
good
there was
film.
horses.
Very
yeah.
good movie. Based on
But
a true
There's a lot
story.
more to it than
Mhm.
just the
Uh-huh.
horses.
That's
Mhm.
right.
And the riders, trainers, everything,
Mhm.
struggles,
Mhm.
falling
Yes.
down and building up.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I remember seeing that in the theater. It was a good film, great
Really
film,
good film, man. Really good movie. Yes.
And they say this is considered one of the best science fiction films of the 50s. Well, no, they're wrong. They're wrong. One of the top 10 science films. This is the top 10 of all time science fiction films. Honestly, it is not just the 50s. And
Right.
it's sad that you don't have people wanting to, especially today, going out there and being interested in watching it because it's a 50s film. It's stupid. The special effects are probably going to be horrible and it's going to be cliche.
That woman didn't
long.
give somebody their consent. She's such a bimbo. She's all these things, and yet she's not an idiot in this either.
No, she's
No,
there's
none
an
of the
innocent-
characters in this movie
No.
are idiots.
This
No,
is
no.
smart
Nope.
writing.
Right.
A little
There's a
naive, but that's just the way you have
Naive,
to be.
yes.
Right.
Yes,
Well,
because
that's the
humans
thing.
are too curious sometimes, and they can get themselves in trouble. Yes.
There's a difference between innocence and stupidity. There's a huge difference. She was innocence.
Mm-hmm.
It's like how why can't people figure that out? It's like, why wasn't she the strongest in there? Why was it just a woman out there? There should have been more women, and she should have been the one that took control and took everything. But she was such a weak woman. Look how weak she was. She's innocent. She has innocence. It's not that she's weak. It's she's learning.
Yes.
This is the first time she encountered anybody other than her father.
Yes, and it's not surprising that because he was messing with technology of the krill that he shouldn't have been messing with, that he created this monster in his mind that actually started killing people.
Well, yeah, and that's the kind of the one thing. He was as much of a victim or such in this. He didn't fully understand.
He did not.
Wasn't a bad guy.
No, he really never wanted those people to come back to that planet, and he was serious about it. So.
He wanted to protect people and until figure out what this is about. And
he didn't even realize he killed all those people before. So no, he didn't.
And until it came to him, and while this is all going on, so I mean, his sincerity, everything he was having through there. He was a bit egotistical, thought of himself higher than the rest.
Yes, of course.
Hubris is what got him into where he's at.
Right. It did.
But, yeah, I mean, his ego. You got the ego, super ego, and then you got the id. Here, you got kind of all of that in there. His ego, the id revolved in it. Yeah,
a man who prides himself on his intellect, and figured all this stuff out, figure out the alien technology, the alien language, and learn how to use it. And all this, but never really understanding that the part he can't control of his mind, that he has no dominion over, his subconscious was the thing that was, hurting everything. So he's antagonist, accomplice. You can put it that way, yeah. So it's that's good writing, especially for the 50s, man. It's just
solid story.
Well, the thing is we did have writing like that, but they're pretty much in novels and magazines like Galaxy and such, like Amazing Stories, where they did delve into that. But when it came to doing films and all that, that's when they got silly. Except you did have those standouts like The Day the Earth Stood Still. Forbidden Planet. This one, War of the Worlds, The Time Machine, where there's a lot more, seriousness involved in those. Unlike the ones where, we got to make sure there's a monkey on board the ship too. You got
to have comic relief.
Yeah, you got to have in the comic relief we had. The cookie was at least a believable one. It wasn't over the top.
Yes.
No.
Thank the stars, See,
that's the dumb kid that they didn't trust with, running the ship. See, nowadays that guy would be running the ship.
Yeah,
right.
He'd be running the studios. Yeah, he'd be running the studios. But that's just it. I mean, you got somebody. He's not necessarily on the same level, as the others, but is useful. He can serve a damn good meal, and. And it's probably fun to have around, and he's still somehow a top tier person to be part of that crew. But the interesting thing is, again, it comes with the strengths and the weaknesses of everybody.
Yes,
he had strengths in areas, and they took advantage of that. He took advantage of that.
And all the cook wanted basically was the rum. Come on, man. Was it 60 gallons? Come on, that's all he wanted.
Whiskey.
But,
whiskey. He wanted the whiskey.
The whiskey.
Yeah, even though he did call it incorrectly, he called it Kansas City bourbon. It's like no. Bourbon comes from Bourbon County. It's a whiskey, okay? It's an American whiskey. It's a Kansas City whiskey, if you want to call it that way. But I'm not going to hold that.
He was the first Chekhov. He was the first Chekhov, so everything came from Russia.
Yeah, you might have a point there, Judge. But think about how, really how deep this is. This isn't something to just brush off. You can watch it several times and start getting different takes.
Yes.
Just like Star Trek.
Yes.
But our spoon-fed, sickle-finned trendies out there that have invaded our love of science fiction, fantasy, and such like that, they can't comprehend it. They think it's all, hey, let's blow shit up and have a good time and laugh, and at an inappropriate time, but have laughs because they're all laughing. Hey, that building went down when I threw Thanos into it. Hey, how many people do you think he died in that one? Oh, probably about 2,000.
They don't want to understand it because of their arrogance. A lot of it has to do in their stupid fan fiction, which it's ridiculous. And if they just took that out of the equation, they could probably write a lot better. Right. But they don't care. And that's a big problem when you don't care about these things. Yeah.
And the interesting thing is you kind of said the important word that disturbs them: arrogance.
Yes.
What was Morbius's big problem? Arrogance.
Arrogance. Yeah, always.
Right? Mm-hmm. And of course, now you're dealing with a bunch of arrogant, trendy morons who think they know everything because, they went to a school and had a professor who only went to school and had a professor telling them how to do this stuff, how to write stories. And the professor probably has 15 failed manuscripts that he's been sending out, from everything to Bantam books to Penthouse letters, and they're all getting rejected.
And then there's other professors like there that I had in both community college and the university that care about showing these older films, care about explaining this stuff to you, care about explaining how radio became prevalent, and all these other things which are important. And there's still a few professors out there that care. It's obviously the ones who are like, oh, you just need to ignore this and this and that. Ones that want to show you things like Citizen Kane, want to show you stuff like Some Like It Hot, how it was filmed, and talk about the what happened on the set and things that they know and whatever.
But that's black and white. I can't watch black and white films.
Right.
I mean, when you have people that pathetic out there.
Right. I know. I agree, man. I agree. It's just ignorance to feel that way. It's just stupid. It really is.
Like, there's no CGI. How can I watch this? These effects are horrible.
But you see what happens with too much CGI. You see what happens when there's too much slow motion. It overtakes the project, or overtakes the show, or overtakes the movie, or whatever.
Some people try to make their stuff about spectacle instead of substance.
Right. Exactly.
And that's all that's only thing the treadings want. They want to go out there, and it's like, popcorn films are great. They're fun to go in there. Go in there, have a silly time. Yeah. It's a spectacle film. It's escaping reality for a little bit, but it can't all be that way.
Exactly.
But when you have the inability to express thought, idea, express your own opinion without screaming and yelling and beating people down, of course not. You're going to fail at this.
Yeah, no.
You're going to miss these cerebral areas.
They will. I mean, even in Discords, who talks about these old films? Whoever brings them up? Not that, who talks about them? They just don't. They talk about a lot of this new stuff. Well, this new stuff is failing.
And let's face it, some people talk about this new stuff and complain about it, even though they know what they're getting.
Right. They know what they're getting, so they're hate watching. I get it to an extent. I understand it's content. I get it.
That's why I don't hate watch. I'm not going to waste my time watching something I know is crap. Yeah. Why should I waste my time when there's other things I can enjoy? I don't want to go out there and watch entertainment and go away feeling dirty.
That's right. No, it's silly, man.
Angry, spiteful because I saw what I saw. No. Like I said, back in the 80s, we would have a bad film, but we still walk out and laugh about it. And it's like, oh, God. I mean, MST3K. You really can't do MST3K to a lot of this new stuff because that's how bad it is.
Mm-hmm.
But a bad film out of the 80s, I mean, at least you can sit around, you can riff it, have fun, laugh.
Of course.
You complain about it in a good-natured way. It's like, oh my God, can you believe I sat through all that garbage?
It's
that stuff.
It's like reindeer games. It's just not a good movie to a lot of people, including myself. But you can probably find some parts of it and say, you know what, this kind of makes sense more so than where we are now. Usually,
And Baron, you mentioned how watching this stuff makes you angry. That's why I've stopped covering a lot of it. Because all it was doing was making me constantly angry.
Right.
Yeah, I don't like what they're doing. I'll speak out when I see things that aren't right, but I'm not going to constantly watch it and let it make me angry, let it affect my health. And
No, you don't need to. But you just unfortunately you have to point out things especially if you have passions for anything, and everybody has different passions in their life.
Oh yeah.
It's just
mine is pitching.
They want to tell you that this stuff is so great, and it's like, but we had this before. Why can't we just keep having more of this and just building on it and not just changing all of this? Because it just doesn't it doesn't really make sense. And people will keep arguing to you and call you names and whatever, but it just doesn't make any logical sense. It really doesn't.
Oh, come on, Cash. You know this is us.
Everything sucks. Yeah, that's what they say.
You know that's us,
I just really don't understand why they've just stopped building. I mean, even like sci-fi things, even you look at Starfield, for example, that game should be pretty amazing. Overall, it really should. You should have a lot of choices. You should be finding aliens. You should have vehicles on the things. I mean, these should be small things that should be there because the game is built for it.
Right.
That's
what I said.
That's just dropping the ball.
That's right.
And that's just it. How can you spend all this time and money on something? And when I say unfinished, I mean by the potential that this has. And if you're expecting the players to mod the hell out of the game, you're doing it wrong. Yeah, it's fun to have mods, people putting little things in, but you can't expect the players to do your work for you.
Yeah, it's just lazy for that.
Right.
Looks like I got some information also on Helldivers. And how they're failing with that too because of certain agenda that they decided that they're going to take on. They're banning people for talking about certain things, and I'll send you guys the videos later. But I'm sure you guys will get a
killing
kick
bugs.
out of it.
Bugs because it's cruel.
No.
How dare you battle the poor buggies? Why are you doing that to them? You're going after the robots. What? Come on, man! Don't be robophobic.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I know. But I'll send you guys the videos later. I'm just saying that, even when they have some good ideas, they just usually squander it. Not always, but usually they squander it, and it sucks. It really does. That's why we need more interesting thing. Even there was obviously sci-fi stuff and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and things like that. I would love to see more of that. I don't know. They just don't care about these things anymore, and their audience that they want to appeal to doesn't care about this. Does it have action? Does it have? I don't care how these characters are. I don't care about this. I don't care. Well, and then when the show fails, then of course they go out and blame a lot of the fans who say, "You guys were supposed to watch this. Aren't you fans of this?" It's like,
right. Yeah, and that becomes such a
right.
Yeah, and they've used that to death. You know they have used that to death because I mean, even people are making mention like, oh, again, they're blaming the fans. Well, no, I mean, it's you.
I mean, let's face it. When we hear that these corporations are blaming the fans, why should any of us be shocked and surprised about that? They've been doing that for the past number of years.
Yep.
Right.
None of us should be surprised by that by now.
They
I'm
won't
not.
even they don't even understand. It's even like they've taken Tom Clancy's name and in some ways they've just butchered it. Ubisoft has butchered it. And it never used to be like that. Ghost Recon is this like tactical game. But Wildlands is more like, it's more silly stuff. Like even when you're like somebody dies, you have to bring them back to life with morphine and whatever. It's just ridiculous. It's so silly.
Well,
I
remember when Tom Clancy was with us, he had input in the games. He wrote
Right.
the games.
Right.
And so
now
now
that he's not with us, they're just using his name.
right, they're just
Like a
using
lot
his
of companies
name. I
do. They're
mean,
just using the brand.
even a remake of Splinter Cell, it's like, what is it? Is it going to be where like Sam Fisher has a daughter, and is the daughter going to become more important, or is it going to be actually passed down? But if they're doing a remake, will you have the same jokes? Will you have the same intensity? Will you have this? I doubt it, because of where Ubisoft wants to continue to go with their stupid agenda and whatever. There's other things they can do right, but the story and the characters seems to become more of a problem. Even like those Far Cry games, they can be fun, but they get so repetitive.
Right.
And you're just like, why do I want to play another one of these that's just going to get more and more repetitive?
Right. Well, and going back to Forbidden Planet here, I mean, it wasn't loaded with yucks, even though there were some scenes that were, that had a little humor to it. It had representing men and women in an innocent, flirtation and and working their way up to a relationship. It's not like of course no real cussing and swearing.
No.
It was these men were acting professionally.
Yes.
Except for Cookie, but Cookie's an exception.
Well, Cookie demise was.
See, he didn't even want the chick. He wanted the booze.
He wanted the booze. He had his priorities right.
That's right. Women are nothing but trouble, Captain.
Yeah, and you had basically people talking. There's drama. It's like, oh my god, this is so boring. They're talking. Well, yeah, it's get the plot point across, and but spectacular scenes and explanations and leading you down that primrose path. What is this thing? And you're expecting the boo hiss Walter Pidgeon, and in the case you felt sorry for him.
Yes.
It's like, oh no, it's like, why couldn't too bad they couldn't have rescued him as well.
True.
But of course, that's where you have the the hubris, you fall. It makes that point in all about arrogance. And it's a moral story as well as anything else, along with the cerebralness. And how can you understand cerebralness when you haven't used your brain?
Right.
When you don't have your own opinion. When you don't sit back and start thinking, it's and that's the problem. This movie is way ahead of its time, just like Star Trek is ahead of its time.
Yes.
And thank God for it. And Leslie Nielsen did a damn good job in this.
He did.
And Walter Pidgeon, as always, did a great job too. I mean, he was a great actor. And this is an amazing film. I think anyone who calls himself a science fiction, sci-fi geek, if they have not seen this movie at least once, they are not a science fiction, sci-fi geek. No, if you're going to seriously take that mantle on, travel outside your 10, 20-year bubble.
Yes.
And maybe 20 years is pushing it. Maybe it's 15. And go back and start seeing why these movies and how they shaped what we had today, how they influenced Roddenberry, Lucas, Spielberg. I mean, you can see elements of this in all their guys' work. Where it's like, okay, we got a little bit of cerebral look at something on aspect. I mean, don't tell me there wasn't some cerebralness Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
course
Especially,
there was.
what Dreyfus was, dealing with here. It's like, what the hell is happening to me?
Yes.
So, I mean, thought-provoking and making go, it's like, this is an important chapter in cinematic science fiction. Yeah, Daily Earth was before this. Great film. Again, that should be another one if you call yourself a science fiction sci-fi geek. If you haven't seen it, I'm not talking about Keanu Reeves. Don't you beat me up, and I have not harmed any dogs. If you have not seen it, you should kind of have like a provisional. Yeah, that's good. A provisional geek card, if that's the case, because you haven't gone full boom. What made what we have today. It doesn't mean you have to like it. I understand, right? You don't have to, but you saw it. You can see why, appreciate why it was the way it was, and it's. Get out, step out of your boundaries, get uncomfortable, because I tell you, proper science fiction sometimes makes you squirm a little.
Right.
And people don't want.
There's a litmus
That's
test,
what it's
boys and
supposed
girls.
to
Do you
do.
want to be a nerd?
Well, I mean, if you
Start
feel
watching.
the intensity because of the music and just the way things play out, I love that. It just doesn't have to be in your face all the time. It's just they're building. I love it. It's great.
There's a lot of dead scenes in this, and that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
The story could carry it. The twist at the end. You don't know what's coming. When's the monster coming out? Something's coming, but it doesn't have to be just how modern movies have music throughout almost the entire thing. There wasn't a ton of that in this. It was not every scene needed a thematic music score to go with it.
No, it doesn't.
You had more of an atmospheric sound in the background. Over the music.
Well, that's sci-fi. That's like Star Trek and I grew up watching Lost in Space and stuff. It's basically kind of the same style, and I loved it. So that's good stuff.
So, yeah, and it's time to get back to basics. For people, they need to, if they really want to go out and start doing better stuff. Us poisonous, toxic fans will actually come and watch their stuff. Now, read Asimov, read Bradbury, read Doc Smith, read Harlan Ellison, watch this movie, watch Daily Earth Stood Still, watch Metropolis. I know you have to read. There's no dialogue. You have to actually read it on the little cards.
What?
Oh my God!
I'm out.
No.
That's it. Done.
In black and white, but it's
reading.
Like, I know how insane
My
is that.
gosh,
huh?
reading? Come on, man.
I know.
Is there
Baron
audio?
Talk's a bad dude. Come on, man.
Somebody make me an audio track.
I mean, audiobooks are cool, but I think reading.
Mm-hmm.
But there's something special about just sitting down and reading a book.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm not a big fan of audiobooks. I like them when when you're in a situation where you want to kill something and you're not able to sit down and read it. But I need to have a book in my hand. Not even a tablet. Not even a tablet.
Yeah. No, Anonymous.
I didn't.
No. I just wanted to ask you to share your thoughts on the loss of our great friend, Klobby.
Klobby, he is the originator of my song.
Yes, he is. And the song he was referring to is this one right here. Anonymous. 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 Would you mind sharing how that came about?
Just it was a very short story, but just he just started singing it. I don't know. I came into the chat and he was doing Saturday Night Trek, and of course they're all kind over there. They all read, shout out everybody's in the chat and say hi and everything. So that's always good. Him and Miss Briggs, they're great. And they just started hey, anonymous, anonymous, and I was like, what in the world? What kind of I was like, stop it,
And
You
then
deserve me, you know it.
you came on the open panel for Pop Talk. You told us about that, and then I got the idea in my head to actually grab that clip and dub my voice doing the anonymous, and that's how it started. It all started because of Klobby.
Should have never
Yes,
said anything.
But you know what, anonymous? It just means we play it more to honor Klobby.
See, I've never seen this. I've never seen these pictures. I've never seen this picture before. And to be honest with you, he looks pretty close to what I was imagining, except for I imagined him had a beard.
Well, I did imagine him orange and having some stone on his body, but yeah, that sounds about right there. Yeah,
close enough. No, Klobby was great. He was always a really good guy to everybody, and he had great knowledge of Star Trek, and he loves the sci-fi that he loves, and the comic books, the great knowledge of comic books too. So, I envy him. Being able to, live with that kind of nerddom around him and stuff, and people love him, and for good reason. And I pray God
knowledgeable man
takes care of him. And I pray God takes care of his family and comforts them and helps them move on. And we'll always remember Clobbering Times. He was one of the great nerds we had here.
Oh, he was a great ambassador for the community.
And one of the things is usually stuff gets bandied around, especially in sad times like this, where they say overflower the person, build up who they were. Sometimes a little too much, but it'll take a heck of a lot to do that with Klobby, because when you do say he was an expert in his field, he was. But the thing is, that doesn't even reach to what he was. He was more than an expert. This man was the living embodiment of comic books and Star Trek. With his love and his passion. And I'd be afraid to talk to him about these because I'd feel like, okay, I'm the first grader and you're the college professor. I mean, honestly, that's how I would feel.
I wouldn't talk Star Trek or comic books with him. I just like I'm a noob. I'm a novice. I'm not worthy.
I could say from the experience of being on the Nerd Royal After Show, we were talking about the Orville, and Klobby was on. Klobby was the type of person you sat there and you listened to what he was saying. You didn't interject. You listened. You took in everything he said.
Yeah. Sitting at the feet of the prophet, you might say, or the teacher, and
he was the professor. We were the students. We were all the students.
Yeah. He made a Starfleet communicator out of a coconut split in half, some salt water, and a few other things. I mean, that's his brilliance, since you brought up Professor. And but the thing is, just like the Professor, he was accessible. He wasn't lording it over you.
No. I mean, when I looked at because it was Twitter at the time. When I looked at my Twitter one time and I saw that he was following me, I'm all, Klobby's following me?
Mm-hmm.
You felt honored.
Same here.
Heck yeah. I even drew him a picture once.
Yes.
I hope he behaved and wasn't naughty.
No, it was
Okay.
quite clean. Wasn't my best work, but you know, that was early. But he liked it, so
Well, that's all important.
That's what matters. That's what matters.
Yep.
He liked it.
Mm-hmm. Right. You know,
Doesn't,
again, it's one of those
doesn't matter if anyone else likes it or not. The fact of the matter was you gave him that picture and he liked it.
Right. And that's the important thing. We're never happy. We always say that about our works. You say, oh, it's not the best I've done. But someone else would go in and say, this is perfect. And in the long run, that's what's important. If, you know, and Klobby obviously thought, hey, this is perfect. I like it. You know.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so again, you know, we have lost a giant. He is really a giant.
You know what? I don't think I'm out of line saying this by saying he was one of the pillars of YouTube,
right,
of fandom,
with
how much he loved it.
And now he leaves us with the awesome task of trying to fill his humongous giant shoes. And yeah, it seems daunting, but we have to do it for him.
We do.
His love for it, our love for it. And most importantly, be upbeat, be up, not be downtrodden, not feel like we are losing or lost or in despair and black-pilled. No. While we're still here, there is still a fight, and we will succeed.
And I just want to say something to everybody who is watching right now, to everybody who catches us on the replay. I give you my word, as the creator of Pacific414 Pop Talk in particular, that we will strive each and every show to give you the best damn show we can. Because that's what Klobby would want us to do. Go out there and give the best damn show you can.
Laugh, have fun, but keep the fight.
Yes, keep the fight going. And we had DJ Ronnie G for a second, so hopefully he'll be able to come back in.
Oh, he's coming back. I kicked him out, and now he's back.
Why'd you kick him out?
What? Don't people take a hint? No, I didn't do that. But DJ. Hey, Nerdle.
Yeah, I booted myself out. I had to enable my preferred audio headset to ensure optimal audio clarity and reduced echoes.
Yeah, I have that problem too.
You guys are doing. You guys honor Klobby's memory today. This is a quality stream, and I think we can all agree that Klobby inspires excellence in content creation, and I think we're going to continue to use that. Look upon his example.
Right.
Yeah, he set the prime example of how to do a show.
We're not going to copy him because he's a one of a kind, but we're going to copy his love, copy his his energy, copy his what would be that word? The passion. That's the word, passion. But
the heart, the passion.
But we're not going to copy him because I'm not Klobby, Mike's not Klobby, DJ's not Klobby, Animas isn't Klobby, Cash isn't. We're all ourselves, and that's the best way we can honor him. Be ourselves, but have that same drive that he had. And more importantly, like him, keep learning. Keep learning.
Yep. Talk about the great stuff. That's why we do talk about the great stuff on Pop Talk, is because everybody should know how great movies like Forbidden Planet are, shows like Star Trek are.
Mm-hmm.
And DJ, if you have any words you'd like to say about Klobby, because I know you're a member of his channel, but you've also been a subscriber of his channel for a while.
At the moment, I don't know if I can say anything that would add it to what you guys already said. You guys, like I said, I meant what I just said. You literally honored a man's memory, and it definitely, like I said, like Anonymous pointed out earlier, he would always greet us when we drop into his chat, and this is something that I would probably replicate, continue to replicate, and sometimes we think it's insurmountable to call out each and every name, and as the channel grows, that may be a legitimate challenge, but he grew pretty big, his channel, his viewership, and he kept doing it. And if he couldn't do it, he would acknowledge that he wasn't going to do it that night, and he would say, "I'll get you guys tomorrow," and he would get everyone tomorrow. And if I joined late in the middle of a stream, he would shout me out at that particular moment. So right now I'm just appreciative of Akel, RM Briggs, and Chief Engineer Mark D with AC, for their reverence in making sure the show goes on.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yes, so I know those two are devastated. I know 24 has got to be hurting. Stone Loki, Doomcock, so many. And again, like I said in the beginning of the show, our hearts go out to all of you, his friends, his family, his kids. And if any of you just need someone to talk to, I'm available. Aaron's available. Cash is available. I'm sure Anonymous is available. Hope you don't mind me speaking for you, Anonymous.
No,
DJ Ronnie G. We're all available. Again, I know what it's like to lose a father to a heart attack. 20 years ago on January 18th, I lost my father. And I still think about him to this day. 3 years ago on January 25th, I lost my mother. She had a heart attack on July 9th of 2020. Thanks to the CPR that my sister administered and the EMTs administered, my sister and I were able to get 6 months more with my mother before she passed. I know this is a rough time, and that's why, until I'm told to stop, I'm going to continue to promote the GoFundMe. Because right now, Klobby, also known as Mike Alonso, his family needs our help. And if you can help, that would be appreciated. And of course, let me just refresh my screen.
Yeah, I was just going to say that amount has been going up higher and higher.
Yeah. If you can, go to Klobby's channel. Go to Klobby's channel on any video and send in a super chat, because that's another way he would have wanted it.
I didn't want to do the super chat because I know people can if they want. I'm not downing anybody who does it, but I just know YouTube takes 35% of that, and I'd rather give to the GoFundMe where they don't take anything. I don't think, or very little.
I concur, and what I would suggest doing is like sending a token super chat, and basically just spending enough money to send a message of the appropriate length in the YouTube chat. But say I'm going to donate the actual money to the the GoFundMe, so that YouTube doesn't take an excessive cut off of the top.
Right.
Yeah, because right now his children need it more than anything. And if anybody missed it, Baron and Cash, as soon as we found out the news, asked me if I wanted to call up the show. And I said, no. We continue the show in his honor. And that's what we've done tonight. I'm going to miss going to his channel and hearing him talk about, Voyager or Star Trek in general.
Right.
Let's face it. Or, the comics. His knowledge on the comics, everything.
Right.
That's what I'm going to miss. But I am honored with the memory that I was able to be on a stream with him and listen to him.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, like I said before, he someone who you don't interject. You
Mm-hmm.
listen to every word that he's saying.
Exactly.
And I like what Tim said here.
Mm.
Good night, Clobby. And flights of angels saying thee to thy rest. Indeed.
Mm-hmm.
And he also says, just wondering how old are his kids? Yeah, I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure. But my heart goes out to them.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's going to be a hard time for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
A big hole to fill, and I don't think it ever will be.
No.
But you know,
I can only speak for myself.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, Baron, Cash, Anonymous, and DJ can only speak for themselves. But I know when my parents passed away, when my father passed away 20 years ago, when my mother passed away 3 years ago, a part of me left with them.
And I see that there is going to be a stream here very soon on Clobby's channel. I think Tim told us that in the chat.
Yes, he did. He did.
So, thinking that
I'm gonna go ahead and get the link because the show's going to be starting here in 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I think at that time we here at Pop Talk will go ahead and wrap up, and we will go over there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm posting the link. We will go over there to show our support.
Yeah, he's family.
Mm-hmm.
I love that one. The one comment. It's Clobby. Is it this man, this monster, and that man. He was a monster to those who disrespect our genre. He didn't mess with them.
No, you didn't.
Mm-hmm. We do thank everyone for joining us, especially join us and help celebrating. It might sound odd, but celebrating Clobby's life by watching this classic science fiction film.
Mm-hmm.
I know he's got to have had to have loved it. I mean, I think I'd be an idiot to say to say otherwise.
I would have loved to have heard his commentary on the movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I know
He probably had some inside baseball about how it was shot and the behind the scenes stuff and stories. I'm sure he was full of that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, gentlemen, before we leave here, would you like to promote yourself?
Well, I'll go because Cash always wants to go last. Of course, tomorrow Cash and I will be on Jace's 540 Studios. Beyond.
As long as it's still happening, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Jace has hasn't been feeling that well lately. Understandable. So, so a possibility tomorrow between 6 and 6:30, usually about 6:10, Central Daylight Time. So join us over there, Cash and I. Also, I'll be doing a part 2 on Paul's Phantomology about the Star Trek EUs. I have to put that S in there. And kind of finish up my little talk that I had there before, of course, my guest starring appearance there, and I get to have a chance to have Tuesdays back for a little while to rest. I've been streaming a long time here. I was saying to the guys here, it's like, wow, it's been on every day. It's like, okay, I'm going to go nuts here. So join me over there at Phantomology with Master Paul, and of course, a lot of other things I'll be dealing with these two fellow knuckleheads. You might say, knock.
All right. Who would like to go next?
I don't do a lot of stuff, but I did just put on my Batman comic book on my channel. If anybody wants to go read it and
cool.
Leave a comment, like, hey, just hopefully you enjoy it. I don't know, just do what you want. But that's my latest thing, so check it out.
I am grabbing your link right now.
I enjoy nothing, Bobby. You know.
Of course you do not. I know you don't, Baron. You're just a curmudgeon.
Thank you. That's the sweetest thing you ever said.
It is.
Oh, man.
So here's the link to Anonymous's YouTube channel. Go check out his comic book.
Yeah, he wants feedback. I still need to give him some.
Feedback's good.
I'm not feedback. He's not desperate for it though.
Pansy, just just tell me
not
you hate it.
He's not a big pansy. He does mess around with his wand too much, but he's not a big pansy.
I do that.
Mm-hmm. Plays with his wand in his wife's she shed.
In the she shed.
He goes in his shed and he's like, I can be Harry Potter too. And she's like, what are those noises I keep hearing? He's like, oh, nothing.
Yeah. I'm just casting spells. That's all.
What?
That's
Patronus,
yeah,
right? Patronus.
Yeah, that's. I got it under the magic.
Accius.
So magic works.
Accius. Redacto. I think that's one thing Harry said as well. Anonymous.
Yeah.
Redacto.
Yeah.
That could hurt. He got hurt in the wrong situation.
Uno mentum. Or something or other.
Uno momento.
Uno momento.
Yeah. Which of course is like, oh yeah, that's how long you do last, huh? Uno momento.
1 moment.
1 minute.
Or less.
Or less.
I aim to please. Cash. DJ.
Yeah.
Starter. Okay, jokes aside, that's not excellence in broadcasting, is it?
Oh boy.
But
all right, so
aside,
so you're going to use your turtles on your next stream, right, DJ? Is that the plan?
My priority right now is maybe to do a little something to commemorate Klobby. And originally, I was in the middle of recording something when I read the news, so I'm either gonna put it in the middle of something I'm already doing, or keep it in the middle of something, or most likely just keep it in a dedicated video because it probably is better to give that topic the reverence it deserves. But outside of that, usual routine. Last week I did an experimental Monday show where I basically did a pre-recorded show because I had to prepare for something work related. And so next week, if I need to get a good night's sleep, I might have to do that one more time. But generally, I still plan to do the Monday show. I may change the lineup at some point, but worst case scenario in the future, I may do alternating weeks where I do a Monday show and then on a subsequent week, I'll do an upload so that I can get a good night's sleep and not go to bed feeling all wired. But right now, we focus on the important things and, the priority item right now. Right now we got Loki on an away team mission, who is bringing comfort to Klobby's family. And, it's a noble cause.
Yeah, yes, it is, because when we were watching the show today, and Mike, Mexican Iron Man, let us all know that Loki was going to see Klobby. That just shows what a good man Loki is.
He is.
What a good friend Loki is.
Mhm. So, I hate to say this, so DJ, you kind of gave me a headache there going through it like that. It's like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
I
What did
have
you
a
say?
headache right now. I woke up with a headache. I mean, I have it
Oh,
right now.
really?
I'm nursing it. I literally ordered like kale immunity booster juice along with my what do you call it, Middle Eastern kebab or whatever the heck you call it. So hopefully I can shake this headache. But yeah, I think it's because they cranked the air conditioning up
And
too low at work. Carry on.
and for
So,
anybody who's wondering how old Klobby was, I'm over on his channel right now, and somebody just said he was 59.
59. Mhm. And so you said kale. So you've been talking to Cash, then, right?
Well, of course. I mean, where else do I get this influence from?
Boy.
Other than a
Kale,
California hippie. I'm sorry, that was
really?
not right.
Kale. I believe though DJ takes the head of his turtle and then he rubs it on his forehead and then maybe his headache will go away.
I'm afraid to do that because I actually don't want to spread my. Turtles can, get our colds.
Mm.
That
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah, it's a thing. So I generally wash my hands before feeding. Oh crap! I forgot to feed them. I fed the tortoise, but whatever. Get the turtles
Oh,
tomorrow.
oh, wow, poor things. Now you
Yeah.
said the excellence in broadcasting. Does that mean that you have half your brain tied behind your back to deal with us?
Um. Half of my brain. I mean, wouldn't that be less than excellence in broadcasting unless I'm missing the joke?
Well, he said excellence in broadcasting. That was good old Rush. And he says half my brain tied behind my back.
I did. You know something? I meant to word it a little differently, and I walked into a minor minefield by quoting Rush. That was not my intent to quote a political commentator. But jokes aside, I would rephrase it as I said it earlier today, that Klobby inspires excellence in content creation. Let's use that word
Oh,
because it's
there we
relevant to
go.
our
Yes, he does.
subculture.
Yes, he does.
There we go. That's perfect, man. That's perfect. We'll forgive you this time.
Yes.
No worries.
Just kidding, man.
And Cash,
Yeah.
anything you'd like to say?
Well, of course, tomorrow we might have 540, like Baron said, and then Friday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we'll be back with either Aliens Fire Team Elite, or if Baron's daughter wants to play again, which she might, then we'll be playing some more Dark Tide. We did some really good work last week, and that'll be fun. And then Saturday, I'm not sure. I might have a stream. I'm not sure. I'm still working on some more stuff. Off stream, I just uploaded the mental awareness video onto Rumble, so I'll be promoting that some more because that's very important. And what else? And then of course on Sunday, because it's Father's Day, I probably won't be on Pop Talk. So
That's understandable.
Yeah, you got to track down your 20 children that are across the country.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're a Genghis Khan.
For some hilarious DJ, hilarious. I'm going to put you in that turtle tank now. But
Yeah, he's got 6 kids with 4 different women.
That's right.
Baby mamas.
I thought it was
What is
6
it-
kids.
what is
I thought it was
this, Ray
6 kids with
Charles?
7 women.
Is this
Ooh,
Ray
that'd be hard.
Charles situation?
Hey,
But
yeah, right.
yeah,
You make it sound like a bad thing.
Guy's got like 80 kids running around somewhere. Yeah, so that's what's coming up on the Phantom Hooligans.
And he can't see any of them.
Yeah, that's
Well,
wow.
yeah,
This-
he's not.
that's good.
Well, he's not with
Wow.
us anymore, so literally.
No, he's not. Unfortunately, no. And I also want to say that I unfortunately didn't know Klobby, but I do feel bad for you guys, and I hope all I can say is time will heal all wounds. Hopefully, well, to some extent, but yeah, it sucks. I knew somebody also in the Twitch community who died of heroin overdose, and when I found out about it, I just decided to stay in his Discord just to honor the man. So, yeah.
And I'm in Klobby's Discord, and I will remain in that Discord.
Mm-hmm.
Again, to honor him. All right. And as far as Pacific414 is concerned, tomorrow on the YouTube and Rumble channel at 6 p.m. Eastern, I will be playing part 2 of the remaster of Dark Forces. We'll see how far I can get, as long as I don't get lost again. And then, of course, I'll be with Baron and Cash on Friday, playing either Aliens Fireteam Elite or playing Darktide.
Mm-hmm.
And then Sunday will be a Father's Day edition of Pacific414 Pop Talk at 1 p.m. Eastern. And I'm sure by then I will know exactly what we're going to be talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, we'll also reflect on the fact that it is Father's Day.
Mm-hmm.
I won't be around, buddy. We're probably going to go, kids taking me out to dinner and
That's what it's about. That's what it.
You're gonna show them.
Lord
You're
of the
gonna
Rings.
show them your Harry Potter wand and stuff. It'll be great.
I'm going to show them my whole collection.
You're gonna make whole collection. Oh, you hear
That's
that,
right.
everybody?
So, yeah.
And I did just go out in the backyard and pick up some sticks, and label them. But
I'm sure you did.
So, which kids are these from around the country?
Oh, they're all coming in. They're flying in.
Wow.
I spread my seed far and wide.
Yeah, I mean,
I make them come to me because I can't afford to go to them. I mean,
and the mothers coming along with too?
Just a couple.
And it's
The
like,
ones that
Animas,
really don't
I want
hate me
another
that
one.
much.
Animas, I want another one with you. Your seed's so
Like,
prominent.
why ain't you giving me any money?
You had to make a shoe shed, that's why.
I do want to thank DJ Ronnie G and Anonymous for hopping on the panel. Thank you both.
Thank you for having
being
us.
here. Oh, anytime,
No
anytime.
problem.
You know that. And of course, thank you for being in the chat, DJ. I also want to thank Jace of 540 Studios. Thank you very much. Kathy Skywalker, thank you very much. She will be our guest coming up on July 3rd, which is only a couple weeks from now.
Oh, geez.
And I want to thank Tim, also known as FKHC 2005. Thank you for the updates, brother. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Oh, can I add one more thing, Mike, before you continue?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so in a few weeks, me and Rodney from TDK are going to be doing some Smash Bros training. It's going to be like a Rocky montage thing, so look out for that.
Dun, dun, dun.
All right.
Dun, dun,
Thank you, Mike.
You're welcome.
Dun,
You're welcome.
dun.
And with that being said, thank you all for watching. We greatly appreciate it. Whether you watched on YouTube or Rumble, thank you very much. And I'm not going to say my customary outro tonight, but I am going to say to Klobby, live long and prosper.
Autobots, transform and roll out!